Tuskegee Airman who fought for his country while battling segregation. Then, this.
Well, I've known Lawton since I was a baby. He's my grandfather's best friend. He's a Tuskegee Airman, World War II veteran. Just an all-around wonderful person.
That's Lawton Wilkerson making history as one of America's first black military pilots. Tuskegee Airmen took frontline risks and then took heat as boundary breakers that many didn't like.
Dealing with segregation, dealing with all of that while still also flying. It is amazing.
After the military, he flew for fun, became a Chicago-based radio technician. He married, never had kids, and saved for his golden years.
It was clear Lawton should have had hundreds of thousands of dollars, certainly enough to take care of him for the rest of his life, because he'd worked so hard and saved so hard.
To tell the truth, I was doing that because I wanted to fly.
But at age 94, for a man who spent a lifetime trying to avoid it,
I came here.
Turbulence arrived.
Patricia Martin was seen as another kind of adopted family member, seen as someone who was trustworthy, who he cared about, who cared about him.
When I first became the presiding judge of
Martin, a relative through marriage, was viewed as the best person to oversee his finances. He had plenty to ride out his final years at this Southside retirement home.
Every box for trustworthiness seemed to be checked there, and so she seemed like the perfect person.
A lawyer turned judge who spent 24 years on the bench, rising to the top judge in Cook County's juvenile court.
She'd been appointed to a nationwide commission by President Obama dealing with vulnerable children. She seemed like the perfect person on paper. In hindsight, she was not.
In August 2020, word came from the nursing home
that account balances weren't right, checks were being dishonored.
The facility hadn't been paid in months. Lawton was $41,000 behind.
We started by contacting Patricia Martin. She attempted to dodge and evade, and she didn't seem to have the time to return a phone call over such an important thing.
Critical for Wilkerson, with his money now missing, he was told he was going to have to move out of the place he called home if things didn't get settled.
She stole the money, we can see from some of the documents.
11 withdrawals over 18 months, pocketing more than $245,000, shutting down accounts without telling anyone, moving most of her new wealth into harder-to-track Bitcoin.
It's hard to think of something more evil for her to have done, but she did.
Her final withdrawal came just 7 days before the barrier-breaking Wilkerson died.
All of her actions, they shock the conscience, and you'd think that if she was innocent, that would have caused her to want to communicate right away, but she didn't.
She didn't communicate with them and later ignored the judge overseeing the lawsuit. Martin repeatedly failed to show up for court hearings, the judge ordering her to halt all transactions. But court documents show she ignored that too, continuing to move money.
It makes me wonder what is wrong in Patricia's heart that she would do that to somebody.
In the end, the judge ordered Martin to pay triple what she took, $1.1 million for the $250,000 she stole.
It was a very nice feeling to see judgment enter, to see the court system taking it seriously, to see that despite the fact that Patricia had been a judge herself, that she's not above the law.
But she knows the law and used it to get that $1 million judgment thrown out, in part because Wilkerson had died.
She tried to drag it out, I believe hoping that my grandfather and other people would pass away before justice could be served.
Martin lost her law license as a result of all this, admitting the evidence would clearly and convincingly establish the facts and conclusions of misconduct. Misconduct we asked her about back in 2023. Judge Martin, is there anything you'd like to say to the Wilkerson family about what's been going on?
You can speak to my attorney.
In the months that followed, this became a criminal case, too. Martin charged with money laundering and financial exploitation of an elderly person. Late last year, that case quietly ended as she pled guilty to one felony theft count, sentenced to 4 years of probation.
Probation and a felony conviction for that sort of theft from that sort of a victim just is not quite enough.
In the end, his care never suffered. But for a man whose legacy is etched in history, the moves and manipulation of Patricia Martin is etched in the minds of those that loved Lawton most.
Lawton was such a fine man, one of the finest people I have ever met in my life. And Patricia Martin is one of the absolute worst humans. And to see that contrast between them is breathtaking.
Patricia Martin declined to speak with us for this story. Lawton Wilkerson's loved ones are planning to file another lawsuit, continuing their fight to get back the money Martin took. All this as the disgraced and disbarred former judge continues to draw her government pension.